Hello there. This is Dr. Ray from Dr. Ray's English. I'm sometimes known as the IELTS Terminator. You'll find out why very shortly. Do you know that the world speaks IELTS? But do you? Are you concerned about your ability in the IELTS speaking exam? I guess you wouldn't be here if you weren't. Without specialist training, you should be concerned. But I can help you. Do you want to learn the specialist tactics that the IELTS examiner looks for? The ones that get you a good score? I can help you. Do you want the best possible score? I can help you. At a price that is a fraction of what you might expect, I can help you. So you're thinking right now, how can you help me? I've tried lots of things about IELTS, and it's all just a real mess. Okay. You could say I've been to lots of classes. I've wasted my time and my money, and nobody ever showed me how to get a good score. Well, that's about to change. They don't call me the IELTS Terminator for no reason. You take one of my courses, you won't be coming back to do IELTS again, because you will know what to do. I've got some references and testimonials from people who succeeded using my methods, and there's lots of them. They're from all over the world. Have a look at this, from Russia. Alexei Glavinsky. This guy hardly even spoke English when he came to me. Look at that. Scores of 6s. Overall score of 6. Look at the speaking. 6. On his first attempt. 6. Look at this lady, Alyantyindi from Russia. I think that Ray is a unique teacher. You can read the rest of the thing here. And how about this lady, also from Russia? You see, my clients come from all over the world. Look at her score. Overall score 7, speaking 7. Most people can do well on the listening, the reading and the writing. It is the speaking that they're scared of. So it's the speaking that I concentrate on. Look at this gentleman. Hi Ray, thank you for your lessons. I'm in New Zealand for 4 months and I got a job within a week in March. Now I live and work in Auckland. Why did he get the job? Because he could do IELTS very well. That's why. And Jane from China. Here's what she has to say. She scored very, very well in her IELTS test. And here's a lady from Vietnam. Without your instruction, I could never manage the time spent for each part. Look at her score, speaking 7. Somebody else said here, I'm an amazing class. This guy, he didn't want to give his name, but I can tell you now he was from Brazil. Another lady from Ukraine. I took a course in IELTS strategies with Dr. Raymond Connors and I was very pleased with his style of instructions and his easygoing manner. I scored overall a band score of 8. 8. Yeah, okay. These are just a few of the people I've helped, and I can help you too. Here's how it works. There are 20 specifically targeted lessons on IELTS speaking with 20 lessons with discussion topics. This is what you do. They're on video, and I send them to you on USB or CD. You watch. You interact with the lessons, so you stop the video as you go along, and you learn. Anything you miss, you go and play it again, and again, and again, if necessary. Take notes. So what's in these lessons? Let's take a look at the lesson content, which is exactly the same as I do in a classroom. Exactly the same. It's just that when you do it by yourself, you do it at your pace, where you like, when you like. And you learn as much as you like, as often as you like. There's lots in these lessons. There are 20 interactive lessons. And you can play them many, many times. Let's have a look at one. Lesson number 1. Expressing your opinions. I think. I reckon. In my opinion. Okay. Learn the language in these lessons needed in part 1 of the exam to give your opinions on a variety of topics, and practice the vocabulary with some exercises. By the way, you don't submit the exercises to me, you know if you've done well or not. Lesson number 2, time fillers. In this lesson, you will learn the techniques so necessary in parts 1 and 3 of using good English expressions to buy time while you think about your answers. No more duh, these, ums and ders lose points. Requesting clarification. How to ask the examiner to explain the question in a better way without losing marks. No chance of answering the wrong question. This is one of the biggest problems in IELTS speaking. The student answers the wrong question. Lesson 4 is about using connectors. We all know what connectors are. And, but, therefore, so, etc. But how to use sophisticated language to connect English so you move out of the baby English stage and score well on parts 1, 2 and 3 because you are showing advanced English. By the way, some people seem to think that they have to have a huge vocabulary to be able to do well in IELTS. This is not so. This is not so. So long as you have enough vocabulary and can use it competently, you will score very well if you follow the instructions in my course. Lesson number 5, part 2, cooking. So how to use the vocabulary relating to cooking and food. This is a very popular topic for parts 2 and 3 of the IELTS speaking exam. Very popular. I choose for my lessons pretty much the topics that IELTS always come back to. Plus, how to plan your part 2 talk to get the best score. Believe me, this is a trick that not many people know. And when you know how to do this, you will score very well in part 2. Most people are very, very afraid of part 2. When you know what to do, that fear will be gone. Lesson number 6, part 2 again, describing people. Describing people is a very hot topic for IELTS speaking part 2. Very, very hot. You've got to know your vocabulary about describing people. But, as I said before, the vocabulary does not need to be huge. Just enough to convince the examiner. So you'll be able to practice questions for part 2 and part 3, plus interactive vocabulary building exercises. Think about your friends and acquaintances. Can you describe some of them using the vocabulary we just learned? This is part of the lesson, of course. We also, with every lesson, we do vocabulary building. You can take notes. Here's how it works. For example, some vocabulary building. What you have to do is match the adjectives on the left with their opposites on the right. How do you do this? You stop the video and you decide which ones go together. Then you play the video and see if you were right. Look at that. That's how easy it is. So these are looking at the opposites. Of course, then we go into things that mean the same. And then lesson 7, part 2 again of the speaking test, a TV show. This is also pretty hot. Vocabulary exercises plus part 2 practice. Okay. Part 3 questions, practice also involved in this one. For example, here's a little bit of an example out of the lesson. How many different types of TV show can you think of? Continue the list below. And then match the pictures with the type of TV show that it is. And you check later on, and of course arrows will tell you if you're right or wrong. Lesson number 8, about movies and films, another hot topic. Lesson number 9, an event. Lesson and part 2, going to a restaurant, talking about a restaurant, also good. Lesson number 11, talking about a book that you have read. Lesson number 12, topic is hobbies. For example, how many different hobbies and activities can you think of? Continue the list below and match so that you can go back and you have a look. Okay, we know which one is cooking, we know which one is jogging, knitting, collecting stamps, gardening, playing board games. The pictures are there, so you can, if you're not sure of the words, now I know what that is, right? And then, of course, here, then you look for part of this also said continue the list. So what else can you think of that might be hobbies? If you're not sure, look it up in a dictionary. Add to this list, right? All right, so that's the vocabulary building part. And then lesson 13, using other words. This focuses on parts 1, 2 and 3. For example, let's say you can't remember a word. You can think of, an alternative word, use it. And this gives you tactics, how to use this, how to use synonyms and alternative words, especially when you are not sure of a word. It's quite okay to use synonyms, and it's quite okay to say, that thing that has got 4 wheels and it's got a motor and it drives down the road. Right, The examiner is not wanting to know that your vocabulary is excellent. He's wanting to know that you are able to express yourself. Lesson 14, photographs. Talking about photographs, another hot topic. Buildings is another hot topic. Travel, also a hot topic. Also letters and emails. Let's have a little bit of a closer look at a lesson on the weather, for example. Okay, here we see a lot of pictures, and your lesson will say, match the pictures with the words. And, of course, you go ahead and you do that, and then you stop the video and you do that, and then you go ahead and you see that you were right. And, of course, the answers are all here in a form like this. Cool, eh? And then lesson 19, sports and games. Lesson 20, possessions, my this, my that, my thing. Okay, so basically that's how the lessons each work. And the total course to make you competent handling the IELTS speaking exam. If you're able to do this, and you will be able to do this quicker than you think, you will be competent and you will be confident in going into that exam and handling this, even the difficult part too. At a language centre, you can expect to pay approximately $800 for a full course in elementary IELTS. That's a fair bit of money. Then you will probably need more lessons to bring you up to score. Language centres work on getting the most money they can out of you. The more you have to come back to learn, the more money they make. So do you really think they are trying to give you good instruction? To get a score of about 7 at a language centre, you will probably need to take 3 or 4 courses at approximately $800 each. Of course, that figure will change from country to country. This course will cost you not $2,400. No. Not even $1,950. Not even $1,495. We could go on and just keep going down, 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 down. Not even $800 for the whole thing. Not even $400. It will cost you, for this course, will cost you, for 20 specifically targeted lessons, only $29.95. That's right, only $29.95. Let's compare. Most language centres, 4 courses at $800, approximately $3,200. IELTS Terminator, 1 intensive course, $29.95. What do you get? You get a USB stick or some CDs, and you get absolutely expert attention, absolutely expert instruction. I have been doing this for many, many years. And believe me, absolutely none, not even one, of my students has not scored well because they use this method. What to do now? Get back to me via Facebook with your email address and a safe address that I can post your course to you. You have nothing to lose except a poor IELTS score.